This is Brunch, Blaze, and Babble,
where we eat, elevate, and talk about
media trends from the past,
the present,
and the future
from a Black perspective.
I'm your host, Roger Turner.
And I'm your host, Alexus Bertrand.
So sit back,
spark up,
and let's get into it. Hey, Alexus.
Hey, Roger, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so good.
Hold on. I cannot hear myself for some reason. How are you?
I'm really excited.
Are you excited? What's up?
I'm excited because it's like, okay, so two big things.
Okay, go ahead.
One, it's my favorite holiday. Happy Halloween, girl.
Happy Halloween.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun. She's cute.
Well, okay, girl, I know she's cute for you, but I live for some Halloween, boo.
I get it.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
So that's one reason. And the second is, girl, it's the start of season 3.
It's season 3. Burr, 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 burr. We are in here.
We are back in the building.
Back up in here, and we are so happy to be back.
Yes.
And giving you all new episodes. So we're back on here.
Mm-hmm. We have missed y'all, okay? We have missed y'all.
How was your brunch?
Oh, my God. Okay, so brunch was kind of hood.
Okay.
Okay, because I went and had... Okay, so I wanted a sub sandwich, right? So when I say sub sandwich, because I'm from Western New York.
Stop. Sub sandwich. That's all you need to say. You don't need to explain anymore.
But not Subway sandwich.
I know, sub sandwich.
Sub sandwich.
Got it.
Okay, so, and I didn't want a hoagie, so I found a place that made chicken finger subs, because I love chicken fingers. I know. I was real in my feelings. I went all the way back. I know. I was being so hood. I was in the mood. Look, the weather done changed on me. It done got cold. I need some. Not only did I get chicken finger sub, but they were hot tenders. Oh, I mean, I went in. Do you hear me?
Spicy.
They were buffalo
sub.
drenched sauce chicken tenders on a hero. Lettuce, tomato with the onion and the cheese.
I'm too old.
Baby.
I would literally be having an ulcer.
It was so
right
good.
now.
It was so good.
But
I don't eat like that all the time. Okay.
So
it was
much
so
indigestion.
good.
I can't eat like that ever.
Whatever. Aren't you from Jersey?
Yeah, but
capital of like
I'm also
diners
old.
per.
I'm also old.
First of all,
like, my
season,
stomach is
we don't
like,
use that word, girl.
My stomach
season.
was like, no, thank you. We don't do this anymore.
No.
We can stop this.
No.
No. We don't do this anymore.
Okay.
Y'all can stop this. You can stop doing this.
Yeah, I did take a whole nap after that, though. I was wild.
Oh, wow.
How was your brunch?
My brunch was pretty tame. I had
tame, y'all. Why are you reading me for Phil already? We have just gotten back here, sir.
I'm not reading you. I'm just saying mine is just pretty tame.
Not tamed.
I had a chicken salad.
You just gonna keep shaming me? So I'm doing chicken hero subs.
No, mine is tame because I couldn't like go out and do a bunch of different these because I was out here in these streets today. So I had to have a quick lunch. But we'll talk about what I was doing today later. But how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how high are you?
If I'm being honest, I don't know. I was so excited.
I think be a sign.
Okay, you know what, right? I think
when you get that good, you don't know how high you are.
Like,
wow.
No. I think it's part the cannabis, but it's also like I'm excited, right? So like my adrenaline is like matching.
You started with a natural high.
So I think I want to say like a nice 7.8.
I'll take her.
Right?
I'll take her.
That's what it feels
7.8.
Yeah.
I'm at a full 8, flat 8.
Oh, baby, it ain't gonna stay that flat that long. It ain't gonna stay that. If you say you at an 8 already,
because me starting at 8 like this, that means we're in trouble.
So I'm so excited.
We gotta get rolling.
Okay. Right, push these buttons, girl.
You want to tell the people what we're talking about?
Okay,
today?
yes, and I'm so excited. Okay, so of course, y'all know, in the spirit of Halloween, of course, we're going to talk about the dark, the macabre, the bloody, the dreadful, the suspenseful. We're going to talk about horror content. And because thinking about last time and thinking about like where we are now, we know that the genre has transformed and like developed and elevated in many different ways, things that make us scared. So we're going to give you some new stuff, hit you with a throwback, and kind of talk about like where we are as a genre with this. So the name of this episode is called Chiiile Boo. Exactly. Okay. So welcome. We're going to get down with the scary tonight, y'all.
All right. So I think it's time for us to... pull back that curtain.
Girl, that curtain was being pulled back loudly, girl. Okay. That was, she was
up. Or we're just really high.
Okay. True, that could be true.
So in preparation, because we had been talking a while that we're going to be doing a Halloween show in preparation, I have been watching a lot of horror movies.
Can I just say I'm so proud of you?
You need to be, because that was a feat.
Are you okay? Is your husband okay?
My husband's fine. I wasn't sleeping a lot. So the thing about me is that I'm a very visual person, and like sometimes the visuals of things can stick with me. And so if I see something like really graphic, that could stay with me for a while. And because that can stay with me for a while, I usually avoid horror movies. So that just hasn't been a thing for me.
I got it.
But I wanted to like be able to talk about this this genre. So I had started out, I did some research because I wanted to talk about how important
Pause for a second, y'all. I missed him saying that. So I did some research. Like, y'all, like my whole heart just left. Okay, keep going.
So I was looking at the numbers.com. So if you guys want to look at like box office numbers, there's this wonderful website called The Numbers. The numbers.com tracks like box office throughout time. And so what I wanted to look at is like how big horror was in the box office. So for the life of this website, I think they start at like 1995 to today.
Okay.
So they look at like the numbers of box office. So ticket sales that were sold in the United States in every genre. And they looked at those numbers, and then they looked at how much percentage of the market share horror movies.
I got a cousin named Horror.
How much of the market share horror movies took of all of that total gross?
Okay. What was the piece of the pie that was horror?
So
out of that whole pie.
So for about from like 1995 to about 2015, horror always fluctuated between 3 and 8% of the total market share, which is a big chunk for like one genre. We think about the number of different genres that are out there, but between 3 and what did I say? 3 and 8%. But there's a few like outliers that are happening right now. So at 2017, there's a big spike in the numbers.
In the horror genre.
In the horror genre. Oh, I also looked at the top 10 highest grossing horror movies of all time.
Okay. So 2017, there isn't a movie in the top 10, but it is in the top 12 that also came out in 2017. In 2017, for the first time, the ticket sales peaked above 8%. It went to 9.72% in 2017. Almost 10% of the box office.
Yeah. Do you know what movie premiered in 2017?
That's not Get Out.
It is Get Out.
Are you serious?
Get Out premiered in 2017. The same year, the horror share of box office jumped from 8% to almost 10%. And so for a while, it dropped down, and it just floated for a little while. It dips back down in 2018, comes back up in 2019 to 8.68%. And there is only 2019, there's only, one movie that premiered in 2019 in the top 10, and that movie is It Chapter 2.
Oh, it was so good too.
Yeah. So
that was good too.
So there's a big jump there. But so for the first time after 2019, the box office shares starts to consistently float above 10%.
Oh, okay. So at some point you said 20, what was that?
So after 2020, it goes to 9.9. In 2021, it goes to 12.91. It drops back down in 2022. That's probably because of the pandemic. It goes back up to 11%, more than 11% in 2023. And for the first time in 2025, it shoots up to 17.37.
Holy shit.
The horror genre jumps to 17.37.
Whoa.
In 2000. So in 2025. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. And there's only one horror movie that premiered in 2025 that is in the horror top 10.
If that's not Ryan Coogler, I'm ending Christmas. I'm canceling Christmas and Thanksgiving.
And so at number 5,
was that Ryan?
Sinners.
You better damn well guess. Come on now.
Number 5.
Come on, get it.
Right under The Others. Yeah, The Others.
17. Wow,
yeah, the only
crazy.
numbers that are above him that outsold Sinners was so Ryan did break records in how much they made. They are ranking them as adjusting for
inflation.
Mm-hmm. So in comparison to inflation, The Others, Blair Witch Project, Hannibal, and It, the original It, the one in 2017, all would outrank.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
That absolutely makes sense.
That makes sense.
But look at those films you just named. Look at what caliber of film you have to be in order. Oh my God.
So I looked at those numbers and it started making me think about what always happens when Black people get a hold of something. We always we make it better.
We make it better, even when it's death and destruction and murder and macabre.
We make it better. And so I started watching this documentary called Black Noir: The History of Black Horror.
Yo, this was so good. Brunchers. I mean, spill the tea on this one, Roger, but I recommend this highly because the way it's paced.
Yeah.
Some documentaries like this they can drone on and on and on.
This
but
was
it's
really good, very personal.
Yes, it was so good. Kid, please, spill the tea.
So the movie the documentary has me right away because at the top of the movie, it makes the case that the first box office blockbuster hit is actually a horror movie.
Yep.
And they're discussing Birth of a Nation. And if you think about what happens to Black people and Black people watching Birth of a Nation at the time, it's definitely a horror movie to them.
Yes.
So
it is a horror. Well, I call it a horror movie.
If you guys don't know what Birth of a Nation is, you need to go back in our episodes, but you should know Birth of a Nation is considered the first blockbuster film in the United States. It premiered in 1915 about a character named Gus, who's a Black man that is actually a white actor in blackface that pursues a white woman or is considered tormenting a white woman, and the Klan comes in to rescue her, catches him, chases him, and lynches him. It becomes a really popular movie, partly because the movie's premiered at the White House. Woodrow Wilson, the president at the time, praises this movie and does it and says, and they build this movie to be close to true life, and it sets this tone for this unnatural obsession Black men have with white women. It sets this story and makes us fearful and villainy and people.
It's diabolical.
It really sets the tone for what white America will continue to think about Black people
to this day. It is a dreadful film, and it
resurrects the Ku Klux Klan, because at that time the Ku Klux Klan
not only resurrects. I would even go on to it. It makes them heroes. It literally makes them the heroes of this movie.
Yeah,
in many ways.
It definitely.
It's so disgusting.
Yeah, it definitely rewrites the history of what the understanding of
the
Klan is, because at this time the Klan is pretty much extinct because I believe it's Ulysses S. Grant, and during Reconstruction, pretty much eradicates the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah. Well,
he prosecutes a bunch of them. He sends them to jail. He sends the military after them. And so the Klan is almost extinct and goes pretty much into hiding. So you don't.
And we know where they hid.
We know where they hid.
No, that police station. Let me stop.
Yeah,
okay, let me stop.
So
that's a different conversation.
Yeah, so they weren't broadly in the open and as organized. Because you could go to jail.
No, they just ran for office.
Because you go to jail for being.
They just went to office and became judges.
Right. So in 1915, we start to see the Klan that we end up seeing becomes the Klan that is the Jim Crow era. Yeah. So it traces that back, and then it goes into all these different movies around how we weren't really in any other horror movie. There were all these, Creature from the Black Lagoon,
that's a good one.
And then King Kong, and if you look at these depictions of these characters, they're very similar to cartoon caricatures of black people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not in the movie, but we're the monster.
The allegory is all alive and well.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. The monster is pretty much us.
Yep,
in white people's mind. It's not until 1940 that we have the first horror movie that is directed by a black director.
1940, we direct the movie, y'all. And it's a horror movie, y'all.
Well, it's the second, and it's only the second black director, because Oscar
Micheaux
was doing all this directing. He was kind of preaching to black people, you need to do this in order to be better with white people.
It was very figure-waggy.
It was very pull your bootstraps up type stuff. But he was a, self-produced, self-owned, fully actualized first black director, independent black director. And so in 1940, another director comes along and decides to make this movie called Son of Ngage, which is a messed up start because it's a sequel or spinoff of an original movie called Ngage. And Ngage is pretty much about
this was the spinoff. I'm I don't know the son of.
Ngage is a horrible movie that talks about it depicts African women having sex with apes and having this half human, half ape children.
Okay,
and
keep moving. Okay.
Makes this fable.
This is very horrible. This is
it makes this fable, and even white people were like, no, "Child, that's
too much.
That didn't happen."
Please keep going.
And so Son of Ngage is directed by Spencer Williams, and he creates this black female scientist in 1940 who has a laboratory in her basement that is helping this half ape, half human being tame them, train them, and help them into. So it's the first depiction of a black female scientist, and
that's important.
It's the first time that you're seeing black people just living everyday life. There's this depiction of black people coming out of a wedding, out of a church after a wedding, and we're not the punchline. We're not being slapstick. We're not being the versions of black people that white people want to see in movies at the time.
Okay.
But Spencer Williams, if you recognize the name, was one of the actors from Amos and Andy.
Oh.
So 1940, we start getting more of us in movies, and it also sparks the whole everyone is trying to put different black characters in movies now. And then we move on to the next big push into movies, which I saw because it was really advised by this documentary that you should see this movie if you hadn't seen this movie. Night of the Living Dead, 1968.
Yes.
So I saw Night of the Living Dead.
Classic, legendary classic.
And 1968, I didn't realize Night of the Living Dead had a black protagonist.
Come on now, keep going. Yeah, it's so good.
And how he comes into the movie, he's very much in charge. You're you could be in charge downstairs, but I'm in charge up here.
So this is why, I don't understand when the fuck we got on this trope that in these horror movies, black people got to be the first to die. Sir, the whole world it's zombies. It's nighttime, and this black man is trying to help us figure out how to stay alive. That shit was in 1968, but somehow along the way, it's just like the second it was a white-led cast and there's one black person, you know who we gonna kill first? What the fuck?
Right. And then
we have survived everything, including zombies.
Right. And so this 1968 is the first time you see this really strong character that is being portrayed, and like he's leading everything. Unfortunately, he is killed at the end by a white mob.
So, I mean, but still.
Yeah. But there's also, this document also argues that it does, the movie is a great depiction of a black, and like the director of the movie at the time says that, the character wasn't written as a black man. It was just a white man. And this particular black actor just happened to be the best
and he was
actor
great
for this role.
Yep.
So they put him in the role. And so they talk about after they had just finished the film, the director was on the road, had the canisters in the truck, and they have the car radio on, and they find out that Dr. Martin Luther King has just been assassinated. Oh. And so they realize that, like, this is also a great movie, but also they understand the time that's happening in their history that's making this movie really important.
Yeah.
So 1968 is also, and The Night of the Living Dead, also we see people also started to say that this movie helped to inspire like the blaxploitation and horror.
Mm-hmm,
and you have all these different blaxploitation movies.
It really was a blueprint.
There was
so many things.
There was always, white, film companies that were like, we want what's out there, but we're going to do the black version of it, which is how blaxploitation movies were coming out. And there was one particular company that was doing all these movies, and they weren't doing well. They weren't making a lot of money until they make a movie called Blackula.
Baby, when I tell you what was watched in our house, we watched some Blackula.
Blackula was it.
He was smooth.
Okay.
He had charm. He was like a supernatural shaft.
Yeah, and what we grew up with, like images of like Dracula and how we thought of Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Dracula was also not just like a villain, but Dracula had charm, and he was
alluring.
Like
he was suave.
Yeah,
yes,
one of his
exactly.
But that wasn't a common depiction of
Dracula
Dracula until after Blackula.
Yep,
Blackula was the first sexy vampire.
I want to suck your blood. I'm gonna take him out the shadow. I'm gonna put this candle up, warm this light.
Let his teeth go down for a
little bit,
and let him give you this Barry White tone voice and talk to you real smoky.
Every sexy vampire that you've ever seen in anything, from Twilight to Interview with the Vampire to anything in between. Hell, Blade, like Blackula was the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally the OG.
So that's like 1970. So at the same time, 1970, you have Blackula, and that's also a black film director.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have another black director that's also doing another movie called Ganja and Hess. Have you ever?
Yes. Oh my goodness, Roger, you have been watching everything. And I only say this because I grew up in a very, very Afrocentric home where they like everything was, if there was a book on black people, there was a story on black people, there was a cartoon on black people, there was anything from Santa Claus to mermaids, it was on black people. We had it, we read it, we watched it. It was all there. So I'm loving the fact that you have been watching all of these films.
So I specifically saw Ganja and Hess because there's two versions of this movie.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So Blood Couple is the movie that actually, so the studios felt that because this was a very good movie. The characters are fully realized.
It's so good.
It takes it's a metaphor for drug addiction. This man gets stabbed with a cursed knife, and he ends up developing this need or desire for blood. And
and what year was this again?
1970.
So this is literally when you could see the beginnings of where certain drugs were entering the black neighborhoods.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like before, like by the 80s, it was an epidemic, but you can start to see it in the 70s. It's so interesting because all the blaxploitation films also talked about this. So it's interesting in this, but now we have a spin on it in horror, which is just so, It's so creative.
It was so creative. It's so well done.
You said there was two versions of this.
In this particular movie of Ganja and Hess, like all the actors are like really fully realized. Like it's a complex movie. It's told well. The main actor is this Black professional that lives in the suburbs.
Mm-hmm. We got jobs, we got money, we got credit.
Okay, everything's is happening.
This is the 70s.
And the film company, so what happened was that the film execs were away when they decided to make this movie, and they said, you know what, we're going to go in the hills, we're going to go make this movie, and went and made it without any studio interference.
That is so unheard of. You would not have thought,
right,
with all the things we've ever talked about,
right,
in the 70s, this is happening.
But they had
That's
to sneak
uncanny.
away, go make this movie, came back, and they were like, "Oh, you did the movie? What are you talking about?" And then they gave the movie, and so the studio didn't like the movie.
So because they wanted their fingerprint on it.
So they heavily edited and redacted the movie and released the movie under a new title called Blood Couple. So. But I was able to catch the original version.
Hell yeah.
So for years, you could only see the original version at the Museum of Modern Art.
I mean, unless you know somebody.
Was literally
Black people keep things.
Was literally the only thing only places you could find this movie. But, you know, Criterion has it. There's a couple of different like websites that are definitely that you can find it. And I found it. It's an excellent movie.
It's so good.
It's a lot of blood for me.
I'm so proud of you that you made it through that film.
It was a lot of blood for me. It was
my God.
It's a lot, but it was very good. So you get these patterns of like, we're slowly progressing throughout like horror. Right. So Blackula, Ganja Hess does really well. Everybody's trying to get into the horror game. But they realize, you know, Black people making their own horror. Blaxploitation period is ending. Mm-hmm. So everyone's just trying to throw their Black person in the movie. And they're throwing their Black person in the movie. It's all white directors. And so they're not treating these characters with like grace.
You did that in 5 minutes.
They're also not like they don't have wants. They don't have needs.
No.
They're just there.
They're devices to support the white people.
Yes, they're devices to support the white people and do
support
other things.
Becky ass, who you know is going to end up being thrown out of a window.
Right. So
it can make sense.
So the book, the documentary also talks about, yes, it's very common that we died first, but we didn't always die first. There was these other metaphors that needed to happen on our deaths in movies. So if we didn't die in the first 15 minutes, a couple of other things were happening. The big Black like person that was considered powerful and maybe scary would have a presence in the movie, and then the big bad scary thing, in order to make it more terrifying, they kill the fearful Black person.
Yeah, okay.
So
it's still bullshit, but I know what you're saying.
They start doing that.
Yep.
They start doing that. And then, you know, people start calling that out. So they wanted to like give them a little more nobility. So what they were doing, they were changing over from the power switch or raising the stakes death to the sacrificial Negro. So if you don't know who the sacrificial Negro is that there's this Negro, there's a Black person that's in the movie that everybody loves, that's doing this thing, and then they try to save the white people and get killed in the process.
So we done spent so much. So what the ham sandwich you telling me? We done spent so much time with us being killed first that now we are dreading it when we go to these films, hoping.
Well, this is all happening at the same time.
Yeah, same time.
This is one of our choices.
Hoping that we don't get killed off. Then only like we're the strong, powerful one. We're still there. Only to get to some dumbass plot device. Mm-hmm. So we are now the plot armor for the main characters. Oh no, Becky! Look, as the knife is coming down on towards Becky's neck, Tyrese gonna jump in front of that.
So the Black character that's in The Shining, in the novel, that character actually lives and survives. Right. In the movie, and I
love that damn movie. That shit pissed me off.
That character ends up getting killed to save everyone.
And that's why I call it a horror movie. That's why I fucking call it a horror movie, because that's where it ends up. Everybody else lived but the Black person, because the Black person had to save everybody. God damn it! If that's not a horror movie,
So we move on into like the sacrificial Negro now births the magical Negro. So they'll be like, don't kill them off, but they do need to help everybody. So we have these patterns that have.
So now we got the magical Negro.
Now we got the magical Negro.
Oh my God, there's so many levels.
But then more Black directors start coming in with none other than Tales from the Hood.
I can't put you.
So 90s, you get Tales from the Hood, and you get
that was fun.
a 95 Death by Temptation. Both Black directors. Oh my
goodness! Listen to you.
Well, Death by Temptation, I didn't watch for the research. I had already watched.
Oh,
not by choice. So let me. So queer young me. Still in the closet, not out yet, just me, teenager. And I have a big family, so there's a whole generations of cousins. So when I was a kid, I had cousins that were like going to college at Howard or had just graduated from college at Howard or whatever. And so when we would go see them for the weekend of homecoming, my younger cousins and I, we would go visit them. And my older cousin, she thought she was doing something by making sure that her teenage cousin stays out of trouble by showing me the film Death by Temptation. So if you don't know what Death by Temptation is, Death by Temptation is like this young man that's like considering the ministry, is like visiting his cousin in the city, and is like being chased by the devil, and like it's very biblical. It's very like preachy.
But we were allowed to watch it in the house because it was churchy.
Yeah, it's very churchy. Like if you sin, all these devil.
It was great.
There's this extremely homophobic scene in the movie.
I mean, yeah.
And literally why my cousin showed it to me, because she was like, let me, my cousin that looked like he might be gay, let him show it. And that movie terrified me.
It's a horror movie.
Really messed me up.
This is what happens to gay people.
Yes, and that's basically what it was saying. It was like, this is what happens to gay people.
That's what I'm like, oh my God, look at you watching this. Well, yeah, it sucked. So we are in the era of where horror movies, no, they were actually horror movies. Like when you mentioned like the not State of the Union, Lord Jesus, I am high. State of the, oh my God, Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation.
Like that's it's a horror movie. Like it's horrible to watch. And so is this one.
Yeah.
Death by Temptation is just as horrible for queer people.
But
stop.
Yeah. We're also in control of our narrative with a lot of these movies in the 90s. And a big thing happens in the 90s with a movie called Demon Night, starring a young Jada Pinkett.
And don't forget CCH Pounder. Don't play with me.
CCH Pounder.
You don't talk. Man, I might love me some supper time. It's supper time.
But do you?
Ooh, and can we point out that was at the height of that show, Tales from the Crypt?
Yes.
Which had a huge Black following at the time because we loved. What was that other show? Like the precursor to that, Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the Dark Side.
And I think Friday the 13th had a show at one point. Like, so Black audiences were really getting into like these creep show. Like Black audiences really liked these tales and these narratives and these stories.
I was watching Goosebumps at the time.
Girl, not Goosebumps. This mother.
Goosebumps was scary, girl. Goosebumps used to scare
I'm over here watching Tales from the Dark Side, and you talking about some Goosebumps.
Goosebumps scared the hell out of me. There was times I would not go into my bed.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
Roger, I love you.
All right, go ahead. Come on.
So then when they dropped Demon Night, and you're right, Jada was hot at the time. Tales from the Crypt was hot at the time, and this was their first big movie, and we went in droves to go see Demon Night. So we ate that shit up.
So do you know what big groundbreaking thing that happened with Demon Night in the horror genre for Black people? Jada particularly.
Didn't she live at the end?
Jada Pinkett is the first Black woman to be a final girl at the end of the horror movie.
The final girl. That should get an Academy Award right then and there.
There's a whole trope of the final girl in horror movies, and it's coined in this this writer that talks about studies horror movies and the whole
wait a minute, let me back you up. No, wait a minute. So you sure she's not the final Black girl? Because I'm thinking about Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis, honey, and she was that final bitch.
She's the first black woman to be the final girl.
Oh, final black. First black girl
she's
to be the
first,
final. Okay,
yeah, she's the first black woman. She's the first black woman to be a final girl at the end of a movie.
I mean, and technically, wasn't Carrie the final girl? But she kind of took herself out.
And so 2000s does a lot of good job of in horror movies, more centralizing us and making us the heroes, making us the protagonists. We're more leads in movies in 2000s. You got Attack the Block with John Boyega.
Oh man, that was so good.
That was so good.
I was like that. I mean, another one that didn't. It was a horror film, but it didn't feel like one. It just felt like a really good film with some stuff in it.
The Girl with All the Gifts.
Oh my God, Roger, look at you.
Yeah, there's all of these great movies that like have these black stars. And
just so you know, Brunches, we're purposely not giving you details like to some of these because you really should watch these because it will show you how how horror from our perspective has evolved. And I love the beauty of what you said and pull back the curtain. Like you interwove this story and we didn't even mention like any of like this is all during the time of the slasher films are coming out, your Texas Chainsaw Massacres, your Halloweens and your Friday the 13th and Freddy, like all of this stuff is big. And yet we persist, I swear. We're creating horror, right? You didn't even have to mention Candyman to weave this great story, but that was like one of our blockbusters. But if you think about it, if you pull back the curtain just a little bit, Candyman was inspired by damn near every like one that you mentioned. Like if you think about the cinematography of it, you think about the storytelling. Like I laughed when you said Tales from the Hood, but really Candyman is a tale from the hood. Yeah, just really, really well done.
Yeah, it's like I went down the Candyman rabbit hole recently because I liked Candyman, but I had problems with Candyman. And so I ended up watching like the sequels, Candyman 2 and 3 are much better.
Yes, they are.
They're much better.
Yeah.
There's a lot more because there were things that didn't make sense to me. And then I realized like Candyman is a white director. But like this weird, like, another trope of like this black man having this weird obsession for
with this white woman. That drove people crazy.
That kind of like was weird.
That was highly problematic when the film came out.
It was problematic for me.
It's problematic for a lot of people.
And then, so his whole thing is, wanting to get revenge for this horrible thing that has happened to him. And the people that perpetrate this thing that has happened to him are white people. But his whole story is that he's attacking people in the hood.
Right. So, and somehow this little precious little soft-spoken white girl is in the hood. It was a lot wrong. I get it.
It was like she's in the hood, but why is he killing all the people in the hood when the people that did this to him weren't the people in the hood?
It was a lot.
It was the white people.
Which is why I think they fixed that in 2 and 3.
2 and 3 they fixed it.
But the point, like, but again, like us being able to come out, what's like, how do you? Candyman came out for me when I think about it during a time where it was like you have to have a big man with a big knife or something like that. Right. Like everybody was doing all these weird ass spinoffs, and it felt really original. It felt really different. It felt really dark, and even optically on the screen, we saw a lot of us. So I appreciate the way you weave this story of just how horror has always evolved. It has not just been what we think it is or what the traditional tropes are, what the ones we think are the most popular ones. Like when we think, like I think when I mentioned the big three, Jason, Michael, and Freddy, like there's so much more to horror, to dark than what I think we realize. And I think Black people have just done a beautiful job along the way of just showing how you can actually interweave the intersectionality of your identity and you can still live up to the respect of the genre and you can still tell a dark tale.
Yeah.
And you can still let us be who we are. Because there was somewhere you said it was good. We were in there. But like with Night of the Living Dead, for example, he just happened to be a Black actor, but there was no Blackness in the actual film. There's no Black culture in the film, whereas you saw a bit of that in Demon Knight. You saw like the way C.C.H. Pounder's character and how Jada was acting. She was acting like how a Black girl would if this demon is trying to attack me.
I mean, same thing with Girl with All the Gifts.
Girl with All the Gifts
was not written as a Black character, just that Black actress happened to be that young black girl happened to be the best actress for this role, and so they casted her, and she was brilliant.
Like she was great. So, but I love how I feel like now we're in this era, and I know we're gonna get to it, where I see so many different parts of my identity show up in this dark tale, and I think that is one. It's affirming. But that also makes it that even much more terrifying.
Yeah, I think...
Because if I can see all of myself in this particular setting, I'm like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, so with movies like Get Out, Nope, Sinners, like it reminds me of this like really amazing quote that came from the documentary. I believe it was Robin R. Means Coleman or Tananarive Due. One of the two... academics in horror had this quote that said, "Black history is Black horror."
Ooh, ouch.
And I was like, ooh. And I was like, so it's no wonder when we have Black writers and directors that are creating these worlds and using their experiences, it's no wonder that these Black horror movies hit so hard and they're so universal.
You know that you have never lied, right? Because you remember we
live horror all the time.
All the time, which is why like Get Out was like, people were coming out of it like, oh, that was a really great tale. But the Black people, we were like, oof.
And it's the first time, they mentioned this in the movie too, in the documentary too, but like I experienced this too. It was the first time I was in a movie theater and like I'm watching a horror movie and white fans that are sitting next to me are cheering for the Black protagonist.
Yeah.
They're cheering for they're rooting for the Black man to live.
It's like they got like, oh, this is racism.
Right.
Oh, this is racism in action. Oh, it's evil.
Oh,
as fuck.
Definitely lots of white people were starting to learn like what
there's
microaggressions
like I had my friends ask me, is that how you think it is when you come to my house and I offer you something to drink?
Oh, I definitely, after Get Out, people were like, do we treat you like that? We don't do that at my house.
I'm still fucking with people. Yes, you do.
Not here at work, but we were at your father's house a year back.
Exactly.
You had us go to your dad's house for like a cookout and come visit you guys, and it was felt like a silent auction was happening behind my back.
We got to stop. Okay, we are just kidding because we always like, oh my God, all my Black friends really think. Roger, like
no. You know who you are.
No, girl.
You know,
that's,
girl.
That's
I'm
you.
talking to you.
That's you.
You know you asked me that. But yeah, I think it's time for us to let's talk about like our top 3 Halloween movies.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. So, Halloween movies. And we ain't got to spend a whole lot of time, but I have 3 that it took me a minute. God damn it. And I'm mad that you make it 3, but I got you. So, do you want me to go all 3 one at a time?
Give me all 3. Go.
All three. Okay. And I'm saying these 3 because I really want everybody to check these out. I want you to check out The Substance.
Uh-huh.
I think it's awesome. Quick hot take. It's around our obsession with beauty, and I think Obsession done the right way can be a great horror tale, and this one it hits the mark. Demi Moore is perfect in it. It gets it. It feels like such an allegory to what she's experienced in her life. Great. Also, Weapons is good. When you mentioned The Shining, I instantly thought of the twins, and I think anytime, it sounds cheesy, but anytime when I see young people in horror films, it amps it up a bit more for me. It's almost like they represent something that should be innocent, something that should be cared for and protected. Mm-hmm. And when it's not and you feel helpless, it creates this sense of dread, and it's great. And Weapons is one of those finely paced films that, how can I put this? Okay, for those of you who watch any of the M. Night Shyamalan movies, and you just thought it was very contrite and you thought it was very simple and his twists and turns weren't really twisting and turning, and you're like, oh, this is stupid. Mm-hmm. Or when the final reveal happens, you're like, oh, that was a dud. Weapons doesn't do that. I think there's some twists, there's some turns, and at the end, there's a lovely payout that's like, wow, this is a really dreadful tale. I would say if you're looking for a nice positive upswing, don't watch that one. And then finally, I'm going to highly recommend, and I chose this over because I was like, I like The Quiet Place, but I loved Good Boy.
You're talking about the Macaulay Culkin movie, right?
No.
What's the Good Son?
I'm talking about that's The Good Son, which is a classic, and I love that you saw that film because he ate.
He ate, no, I'm sorry. Which movie?
Good Boy.
Good Boy.
That's about the dog, right? Where the main character is this dog.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Baby,
I'm never watching this.
You watch this. Go ahead. Those are my 3 best movies of horror. Because they're very creative. They're off the beaten path. It is not the tropes that you think they are. And even if you think it's the trope that you think they are, they're told in such a way that is heavy. So the protagonist is a dog who has a master, and then things start happening, and you see all of this really from the dog's perspective. The biggest thing that I will say that I loved about this film that messed with me the most is how silent I had to be. It is very much a watching movie. Mm-hmm. And even if you're one of those people, don't open that door, that you're talking to a dog. It doesn't work. Mm-hmm. You have to sit with this film. So those are my 3. What are your 3, Boo?
All right. So I had to go a different route. Because
okay, I'm proud that you went down the route at all.
I am not a horror person. So you guys already know what my top 3 horror movies that I could tolerate. You guys know
Saw 5?
No. y'all know I saw I like Sinners, Get Out, and Nope. Those are my 3 favorite horror movies. That is a horror movie.
Nope, I know it was just more hilarious than anything, but okay,
that terrified me.
Oh my God.
So those 3 movies are my favorite horror movies, but I wanted to give my top 3. So for those people that you're new to horror and you're just putting your feet in and you just want to get a good. Well, first I want you, before you get your 3, you're gonna need to watch this documentary, Black Noir: The History of Black Horror. That'll help you.
I think you
get a good education on what horror movies are to us. Mm-hmm. And I want to suggest so some of these movies that I got from the documentary. Definitely Ganja and Hess. You have to see Ganja and Hess. 1970 early movie. I've really enjoyed this. I would double feature it with The Sweet Blood of Jesus, which is a Spike Lee remake of Ganja and Hess.
That is a remake of that?
Yes. The Sweet Blood of Jesus is a 2014 Spike Lee remake of...
Had no idea.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a Spike Lee... It's still a Spike Lee joint. I just watched it like a Spike Lee joint.
It is. Yeah, it is
That's why I felt familiar. And I was like,
and then Night of the Living Dead, if you've never seen it.
Nice classic.
But that's it. The ending will mess you up. It will mess you up.
It's good though.
But it's a very good movie. And finally, I have to go with The Girl with the Gifts.
It was okay.
This was a really
yes.
Good
out of all
movie.
The ones that you talked about, yes. And I think it's visually easier to digest than one would think. I agree with you. I am really fascinated by your picks this time. This is good.
Yeah,
these are all great classics. And for friends who are new to this, because I think the way the horror and the murder and the bloodiness is portrayed, I think you can swallow that. So good picks.
Okay.
All right. TV?
Yeah, TV.
Okay, so I'm going to give you these 3 real quick. Actually, I just got into, you know what? I'm going to put this one on here. Welcome to Derry. I love this. I love It. I read Stephen King It when I was in high school. I followed them, the remakes, the originals. I've always loved this tale. It is great. And I love the fact that they made a prequel now show on HBO Max about the kids in the town. And I think this is really interesting when this is something that I think a lot of people who are fans of this
prequel
story.
to It.
Yes, that's why it's called Welcome to Derry, because Derry is the town where it takes place. So Welcome to Derry. And the other 2 I really enjoy. I enjoyed From, which I believe is on Netflix. I want to say Netflix.
FROM?
Yes.
Okay.
Just called From. And what's really interesting is there's a whole lot of dark supernatural shit that is happening in this town. And the one thing that I would tell you is that things happen and people naturally make choices. I just want to leave. I don't want to stay here anymore. Ooh. And they go down the road and it turns them right back into the town. It's like the town won't let them go. For those of you who play video games, it reminds me of this take on this game called Silent Hill. It's like once you are in Silent Hill, which is the town, you can't leave until you deal with something. So all the characters in From are making human choices to not deal with things, but the town recognizes that and won't let them go. Very compelling, dark. You'll love it. And then finally, okay, now Midnight Mass. Now, baby.
I'm not watching that. I saw the trailer.
What? No,
yeah,
it's
scary.
so good.
That's too scary. I'm not doing that.
So, this one here, I'm just going, okay, so this is Netflix. This is what I would say. I would say that's probably my strongest one because it is very visual. I don't want to give it away, but I love horror that also plays on religion. And this one really plays up with religion and it's in this quaint town, things go down, and then and I love this because it shows you some of in a horrible way, and that's why it's a horror story, some of our convictions around what we believe are the right things to do based on religion, and they have these horrifying results. Yeah. So before we go, did you have any throwbacks? Those were your throwbacks, right? Did you have any throwback
No, I didn't do any series.
Oh, you didn't do any series?
Oh, so my series really quickly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewatch. I'm rewatching Stranger Things so I can finish the.
Yes, because the season is looking really good.
The final season is coming.
You gonna go back from the top?
I've been going back from the top. I'm in season 3 right now.
Yeah, I'm in season 3 too, group.
So they're gonna do the final season, and it's just been announced that the final season finale movie will be in theaters.
Oh, so we going?
Yeah,
We'll talk to you later about that. Oh, hell yeah! Now that I know, girl, we going.
The Stranger Things series.
I have to go with you. The fact that you're doing all of this
will be in a movie theater.
I just adore you.
And finally, Marvel Zombies.
Audrey, I couldn't love you more.
I love Marvel Zombies.
It is a horror cartoon, and it's very good, right? So y'all, and honestly, for the kids, if you have I would say tweens and pre-tweens, you got 11-year-olds, they can handle this because it's done really well. Some of it is tongue-in-cheek. It is still relatively dark, but it's a great tale. I just want to add in, I went back and I rewatched the Scream series, and I just forgot how iconic
that was good.
All of them are, all of them. Speaking of Jada, I'm thinking about the opening scenes, everyone was iconic. It's great. I have always adored.
Is that your throwback?
That's my throwback.
Okay.
I say, go back and watch a Scream film, y'all. Y'all will laugh. And by extension, I went back and started watching the scary movies too, because we were just talking. I remember our last conversation, we were talking about the Wayans and their contributions to comedy. But now we haven't even touched on that. But we have some filmmakers who are using comedy and horror, and it's it's a movie, and they're having fun with it. Yep. I love how they're mixing it up. But Black people, we're just always awesome. So anyway, that's my throwback. I wanted to throw that in there, and I think I'm good.
I think that is I think all my picks were a throwback. So that
but you had some classics, some iconic films.
Any one of those. I hope you can get to some of those films. I really suggest that if you want to get into a good horror thing for yourself. We have some good suggestions. So we're going to go. It's not happening during this Halloween season, but I think it's in 2026 when the Stranger Things season finale movie will be in the movie. I'm so excited. Theaters. So make sure you try to, I suggest that you try to go see that. And today, this afternoon, it is Halloween. And starting on October 30th, the movie Sinners has returned to movie theaters.
Returned, y'all.
And the movie Sinners, I love Sinners. So I had to go to see it in a movie theater again. I'm thinking, I was I'm going to be in a room with a few faithfuls.
Just 1, 2, 3
in a
people.
half-empty theater. It's okay. I'm getting here early before the people want to come and fill up half place. Why was my theater full? Why was people in costumes?
And I love that they cosplaying and coming to this. You know what though? This is a great date night movie for this season.
There were a few,
it's there were a lot perfect.
Of dates. There were a lot of dates. There were a lot of young Black woman just getting out of her break at work.
I love this.
And go watch a professional Black woman with her little briefcase. Watching was I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna treat myself this afternoon.
I love this. I love that it's back in theaters, and it's back in theaters to the 5th.
Yeah, till November 5th.
So y'all go see it again.
Since October 30th all the way through to today, Halloween to November 5th, the Sinners will be released back in theaters. So they're showing in theaters all over the country. So if you can get a chance to, if you haven't seen it in theater, which I don't know what you've been doing with your life if you haven't.
But please go see this one.
What do you talk to people about?
But you know what though, on some real, but not to shame all of you, because if you just have not seen that film,
go see it.
You have the perfect opportunity right now.
You can go do it right now.
You can go do it right now. I just
talked to somebody today that was like, oh my God, I can finally see it in a movie theater.
And and this is your time.
Yep. Go do it.
Yep.
So what you want to leave the people with?
I want to leave the people with something that you inspired me with today. I want you to go, brunches, I want you to go stretch yourselves. Go watch something different.
Yourself.
Okay. No, baby, not like that. No. You come on back down now. You come on. Get your manners back. You was raised in a Christian. Okay. I want you to stretch what you're used to watching. Get out of your convention. Be scared a little bit. Be frightened a little bit. You might learn a little something. You might love a little something. Just try something different. You got this.
All right.
And what about you?
Well, find yourself some joy today because you deserve it.
Yes, you do.
Thank you all for listening today.
Thank y'all. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.